Today, we're going to talk about 9 reasons that cause hidden inflammation in your body that you need to know about. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Marvis. I'm a board-certified family and lifestyle medicine physician who is trained in helping people not only get better using traditional medicine, but also, more importantly, lifestyle interventions, including how to deal with stress, what to be eating, how to rest, all these different things. So, today, though, I really wanted to cover these, and I'll share a little bit of my own story. My mouth is swollen today because I had a tooth that was extracted yesterday. So forgive me if I tend to speak weird or say something unusual. It's not my typical self. But what was interesting about this, let me go back just really quickly. When I was a kid, when I was 10, when I was going to get braces, this is back a while back. They pulled 4 permanent teeth, and because they said my mouth was too small for my big teeth. Unfortunately, what that did is that set me up for a cascade of issues going through my life that I didn't fully comprehend until, I'd say, the last 5 years. But what happened over time, teeth got straight, thinking, oh, it's all good. But what's happened is I got older, the bite and the stress of the bite caused teeth to slant. They were moving because I didn't have all my teeth in, and then I would crack or I'd get a root canal, and then because of infection. And so now I've had to have this tooth extracted because of a crack, and then it got infected because of my bite. So now I'm wearing these things called this Invisalign to help adjust the bite, and I have to get 2 implants in about 3 or 4 months. There's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, what I meant to say about this is this dental issue is going on because when you have a root canal, you cannot feel discomfort. And I don't know how long that this root canal had been infected because of the crack. And anyway, when I would measure my HSCRP, which is an inflammatory marker, which we'll get to in a second, it was always slightly elevated. I couldn't quite figure it out. So there was several things going on, dental issues, and I was in this perimenopause, menopausal phase. So I want you to just think about a few different things that you might want to measure, but let's talk about those 9 hidden causes. But this was mine. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you real quick so you didn't think I was some strange human with swollen face. Anyway, moving on, let's get to my list here. So first of all, the one test I would encourage you to check is your high sensitivity CRP, right? So, or C-reactive protein. This is not just a CRP, but an HSCRP. And your doctor can order this for you, especially if you have a history of diabetes or heart disease or high cholesterol, hypertension. It certainly should be covered by your insurance. So I would request that from your doctor. But basically, it's a marker of low-grade inflammation in your body. And when it's elevated, it can tell you that you're at higher risk of cardiovascular disease, which tells you you're at the higher risk of the number 1 killer of men and women in the US. And so I was slightly stressed about that and this thing going on here. But I have a coronary and calcium score. I've checked my cholesterol, all those things have shifted back. They're great. But this was ongoing, apparently causing, I'm assuming, because that's going to be a while before I can check it because of all the other things that are going to be ensuing with this mouth. But that is something to be mindful of, is dental. So number 1 is chronic low-grade infections, hence such as periodontal disease, right, your dental teeth, H. pylori in your stomach. If you have a history of ulcers or something, that can cause a persistent increase in HSCRP. 2 is obesity. So adipose tissue, especially visceral fat. So I did a video a couple of days ago all about visceral fat. It secretes things called cytokines. And so cytokines can lead to an elevated HSCRP as well. And this is associated with, it's very well documented. There was a study in 1999 that showed that you have higher inflammation with obesity. And I've absolutely seen it in my own practice. Those who are the BMI over 30, typically, you'll see this chronically elevated, for example, white blood cell count. This is another thing besides infection, your white blood cell count will go up. It's called an acute phase reactant. And you will see them just persistently just outside of the high normal. And when they lose weight, the visceral fat decreases and that inflammation. There's other reasons you get inflammation with obesity, but that is a really good indicator that, well, we got to get on this. We got to get your body moving in the healthier direction. Number 3 is sleep disorders. So conditions such as sleep apnea or Anything like that that's causing your disruption of your sleep can lead to increased systemic inflammation and elevated hsCRP. Psychological stress, so chronic stress, has been linked to higher hsCRP due to their impact on your immune system. And we understand that when your immune system is stressed, you're more likely to get sick, right? So I remember when I was a kid, I guess I was a kid, younger person in college, I would be stressing because I wanted to go to medical school and make sure I get all my good grades. And then I would come home for Christmas, and lo and behold, every single time I came home, I got some kind of nasty bug, and it lasted like a week. I was wiped out. I think my body just said, well, now I'm going to let you deal with all the stress that you've been giving me. Yeah. Anyway, next is autoimmune conditions, right? So diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and lupus can cause systemic inflammation, and we understand that. Again, this can cause a rise in just CRP, but also hsCRP. So if you have let's say a cold or the flu or COVID, or an injury, you will have elevated hsCRP just because you're dealing with infection. So if you're going to get this checked, make sure you've been well for at least, I'd say 30 days or so, just outside that, or especially if you've had any dental stuff going on, wait, no need to continue to stress yourself because it's already going to be high. Yeah, it's not going to make us change anything other than wait. So give yourself some time. Next is chronic kidney disease, right? So there's a study in 2002 that showed reduced kidney function can lead to increased inflammation and elevated hsCRP. It's pretty common in chronic kidney disease patients, but we understand many times people with CKD have other things going on that actually cause the CKD, like diabetes or hypertension. So again, this is just one indication, but think about all these different things that could be going on in your body, and just let's start paying attention to them and start moving in the right direction. Next is smoking. I think that's fairly obvious, but it does introduces a lot of inflammatory agents into your body. And of course, that would lead to a higher hsCRP. Also dietary factors. So if your diet is high in refined sugars or saturated fats, which primarily come from ultra-processed food or animal products, that also can cause a rise in systemic hsCRP. So really important to pay attention to your diet quality, right? So it's not just about, eating less food in the sense of a whole food plant-based diet where I'm always encouraging you, but that's an anti-inflammatory diet as well. So some people are like, well, I can just eat what I want and just reduce the calories. Sure, anybody can lose weight, even someone with cancer yes, you can find ways to lose weight all the way, fasting for long periods of time. But at the end of the day, if you're introducing inflammatory items into your diet, that's your body's going to react, right? You put out what you get in, just like in your mind. If you allow things to come into your mind that cause more stress and anxiety, well, you just keep feeding the bear, it's going to grow. And so next is hormonal imbalances. So things like PCOS, perimenopause, and menopause, these things can change and impact your hsCRP significantly. I think I've shared my own story with perimenopause that last November, after I finished running a half marathon, I'd been training and doing really well, felt great. And then suddenly I just had discomfort in my big hip joints here. For the life of me, I was like, what is going on? And it's also the time my period stopped. So this is something that really got my attention. And then, of course, I'm pretty sure this was brewing for a while. So those are the 9 things. Let me just go over again. Chronic low-grade infections, like I mentioned with the teeth, H. pylori, obesity, sleep disorders, psychological stress, autoimmune conditions, chronic kidney disease, smoking, dietary factors, and hormonal imbalances. So how do you determine what you should be doing? Well, this is where my free masterclass, the 5 steps to master metabolism and lose weight, really comes in handy, because you utilize the same framework, not only because inflammation can cause weight gain. There's some interesting mechanisms behind that, but we walk you through how you determine what to do, right? So first you measure what you're doing, then you learn what this means, then you know, okay, this is what I need to do, then actually how to do it and make it a habit. So I really walk you through my signature framework on how to approach that. And it can be applied to anything, but specifically around weight loss, it's very, very helpful. If you have menopause, like belly fat, stuff like that, this is so very helpful. So you can see that registration link below. Please check it out. It's completely free. And then I also speak to the 4 biggest mistakes people make in their weight loss journey. So hope you found this helpful. I'll let you know how it goes probably next spring when I recheck these labs, but it won't be for a while because, like I said, I got some stuff to deal with. So, but you guys, I just so thankful for you to be here. I'm sending you joy, love, gratitude, and peace and healing. Because boy, do we all need more of that in our life today. Yes, especially here right now going on in this mouth. So appreciate y'all. Sending you love. Have a good rest of your day. Blessings.